Welcome into this edition of Bills Breakdown by Chad Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us as the Buffalo Bills are moving on to the AFC Divisional Round, where they will face the Baltimore Ravens after a decisive 31-7 win over the Denver Broncos. Smitty, Tyler Smith is here with me. We'll bring him in just a moment to kind of look back at this game and look ahead to the matchup against the Baltimore Ravens. Let's take a look at the numbers here. First off, Josh Allen, what a day for him. 20 of 26, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Cook, 23 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown score. Curtis Samuel led the Bills in receiving, 3 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown. Smitty, when you looked at this game for Buffalo, started a little slow, gave up an opening drive touchdown. Next drive, they were held to 3 points. And at halftime, you had a tight ball game, 10-7 lead, but the Bills really just inserted their will in the second half. The run game was so strong. Credit where credit's due to Sean McDermott and company to make the necessary adjustments they needed to win this game.
Yeah, they kind of just showed everyone that they're in a different weight class than the Denver Broncos, right? Like, they were getting good pushes to the line of scrimmage. Josh Allen was fairly protected. They had great run blocking across the board. I mean, whether it was James Cook or whether it was Ty Johnson, constant positive plays for Buffalo on the ground. And that's kind of why they ended up holding the ball for so long in this game. I think Buffalo won the time of possession battle by over 20 minutes. They held it for over 40 minutes in this ball game. So kind of just, like you said, inserting their will here. And now, like, they kind of played, in my opinion, how a championship team looks.
Yes.
Like good pushes at the line of scrimmage, winning that battle there in the trenches, and keeping things clean, not turn the ball over and making things harder on yourself.
Yeah, no question about it. And I think what Bills fans really have to like that you're obviously not going to be on your best every night. That's just impossible. And for them to respond the way things did at the start of this game, when it looked like, hey, 7-0, rookie quarterbacks going in, scored on the opening drive in a road game. Okay, we might have ourselves a ball game today. And then the Bills did what they needed to do to just go out there and dominate from that point going forward. And Bo Nix, like his numbers, he ended up with 144 total yards, 1 touchdown, was sacked twice. He never really was the same after that first opening drive. The Bills did a really good job of not letting Bo Nix get into a rhythm. He ended up with 43 rushing yards as well of the day. Like, I thought, for me, just all things considered, of where this team started compared to how they finished here, that's got to feel really good for your confidence that knowing, like, hey, even when we're not playing our best, we're going to find a way to figure it out.
Yeah, you would have thought that, when Bo Nix takes the top off the defense there in that first quarter, that he would feel really settled in, and then the Bills quickly made him uncomfortable and kind of really didn't give him any opportunities to get down the field and score again. Like I said before, dominating the time of possession, keeping the ball away from Bo Nix, and a well-oiled offense like Sean Payton usually has. And credit to the Bills there for sustaining long drives and making the stops on defense when Denver did get those opportunities.
There's that time of possession number we talked about, by the way. 41 minutes.
Nasty stuff.
In 43 seconds. You never see that in an NFL game.
Doubling them up on the first downs category. The Bills were actually the more penalized team in this game, and they were at the end of the day, the talent was just
This felt
good.
like an old school win.
The talent was just too good to overcome it there.
Yeah. This felt like, grown man football we saw from the Buffalo Bills today.
Yep.
If you're happy about the wild card win, hit that like button. And let's let our voices be heard. This is a big deal for the Buffalo Bills to get this playoff win, be moving on to the divisional round to face the Baltimore Ravens. We'll have more on that coming up in just a bit. Smitty, let's go to the numbers. Let's start with Josh Allen. 20 of 26, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had 46 yards on the ground as well. There were times where Josh missed some open receivers. That did happen. Wasn't a perfect day.
Yeah.
But the second half, he really settled into his own. And the big thing I thought was the fact the way he got guys involved, and got guys involved early too. You saw Curtis Samuel, Shakir, Kincaid, Knox, Johnson, Hollins. Amari Cooper only had 6 yards, but he still had 2 catches here. The way that he just diversified the football field today, to me, was so good from Josh Allen in that sense to really get all those guys involved and get them all involved right from the jump.
I mean, there isn't a bigger engine that powers an offensive unit in this league than Josh Allen, and that's kind of why I think this season's MVP belongs to him. And he played a super clean game today, man. Didn't really light things up until that big Curtis Samuel catch and run touchdown.
Yeah, missed that touchdown on the opening drive.
Missed the touchdown on the opening drive to Dawson Knox there inside like the 10-yard line, and really just cleaned things up the rest of the way. Used his legs effectively. I believe he was the team's second leading rusher per usual, 46 yards on the ground. Whenever the Bills needed to make a play offensively, Allen was always there, stepping up to the plate and making it happen. And then if that's going to happen moving forward, then the Bills are going to make a deep run into this postseason, and they're going to have as good of a chance to win the Super Bowl as anybody else, man.
Yeah, very good day for Josh Allen. 31-7, the Bills with the win over the Broncos. The run game, so strong today. James Cook, 23 carries, 120 yards, a touchdown, had a long of 19, averaged about 5.2 yards per carry.
Yeah.
This was a strong showing from James Cook, and really just picking up from where he left off this season. He's had 5 100-yard rushing games this year, and you think about these next two teams that they could potentially face. We know the Ravens can run the football well. The Chiefs, they can at times. They have some question marks on their offensive line, but with that being said, these next 2 weeks, I think what we saw from this Bills run game, their run game can hang with anybody.
Absolutely, and it's one of those things where it's not just James Cook getting in the mix too. The Bills as a whole averaged for nearly 5 yards a carry today, and
Ty Johnson wasn't bad either.
Ty Johnson was creating chunk runs there in the second half when the game was pretty much wrapped up. The Bills kept getting first downs. They were literally kicking the Bronco while they were down, and the credit to them, man, for just being able to create a strong run game. That's what's going to take them very far in the postseason. We know that Josh Allen could take over games if he has to,
right?
But for the offense to be three-dimensional in that way and being able to work through the air and on the ground, that's going to bode well for them against some of the heavier weight teams that they're going to be facing down the stretch.
We didn't mention this, but it's a very important stat. No turnovers today.
No turnovers. Kept it super clean.
Did a really good job taking care of the football on that front with no turnovers on the day there. So now let's shift our focus to the divisional round.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Ravens. Very good win for Baltimore against Pittsburgh the
yeah.
other night, 28-14. They looked really good.
Credit
Now
to
they
them.
come into Buffalo, and Lamar's been so good this season. Derrick Henry's been really good. That defense started out slow. They've improved as the year has gone along here. This is a game, Smitty, I could see going either way. And, credit where credit's due. I'm a big Lamar guy. I love Lamar, and that Ravens team is fun. I think it's going to come down to what quarterback's going to have the better night. Is it going to be Josh Allen? Is it going to be Lamar Jackson? And it's one that could go either way.
I titled this video, "The Bills fans get great news after the wild card win." You could argue it's a double dose of great news because you get that big-time wild card win over the Broncos. Team looks like a well-oiled machine. And you know what? Bills fans get their wish of a one-on-one, mano-a-mano matchup between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen once again. Let's be honest, the Ravens got the better of the Bills early on in the regular season. It was in Baltimore, and off of the first play from scrimmage where Derrick Henry takes the ball 80 yards to the house, the tone was set, and Baltimore kind of punched Buffalo in the mouth. Now is the time for redemption. Now is the time for Josh Allen to prove that he is the most valuable player in the league. The Ravens have a ton of Pro Bowl level talents. They have 9 Pro Bowlers on the team right now. Maybe Josh Allen's got a little bit of added motivation, not only because of the MVP race, but because Lamar got that first team AP, all team over Josh Allen, excuse me. And this is the battle of heavyweights. And this is the best game that we're going to see in the AFC postseason. Bills fans get their wish of getting that matchup with Lamar. Can't
Something
wait for this
to
game.
watch on Baltimore's end that I think is worth mentioning for Bills fans to keep an eye on. Zay Flowers out this past week.
Huge.
We'll see what his status is for this matchup come Sunday. But what's been the ongoing issue for the Ravens over the years in the playoffs? It's been their passing game and Lamar Jackson's ability to stretch the football. And we've seen time and time again where Lamar didn't do enough in the passing game. And Zay Flowers, very good receiver,
Yeah.
Pro Bowler. If he's not there, that's a huge loss for this offense. This is not the Pittsburgh Steelers you're facing. This is the
Absolutely not.
Buffalo Bills. You can get away pretty easily without Zay Flowers against Pittsburgh.
I mean,
If you look at this matchup here, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. I mean, you have some other options
They
here,
have threats on that Baltimore receiving
but
core.
it might cost them too much if they don't have Zay Flowers there.
Yeah, I mean that's something we're going to be paying attention to and monitoring all week. That's why you subscribe to the channel. But at the end of the day, man, I think Josh, he's got a lot of motivation, and I'm sure he wants to win this game more than he's wanted to win any postseason game in his career so far. Just to all the narratives that are surrounding this game, the doubters that he can't get over the hump. There's going to be doubters on Baltimore's side. There's going to be doubters on Buffalo's side, even though the Bills have gotten the better of Baltimore in their lone previous playoff matchup, but that game was super low scoring, could have went anybody's way. I expect this game to be super close as well. Going to be paying attention to the line of scrimmage battle between Baltimore and Buffalo. Like, both these teams won the line of scrimmage handily in their wild card matchups, and now they're going to be button heads in this one. I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a one-possession game no matter what.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, and we're going to be live for that one here on the channel. Don't miss out on that. We had our first watch party today, and looking forward to doing it all again next week. Will the Bills win the Super Bowl? Y for yes, N for no. Smitty, your answer is?
Give me those Y's in the comment section. Let's go, Buffalo!
Get the Y's in the comment section, or the N's if you're feeling that way.
Manifest it. Send the good vibes over.
Let us know, will the Bills win the Super Bowl or not? Appreciate you joining us here on Bills Breakdown. Subscribe now for free. On the road to 1,000 subscribers here at the channel. Need you to help us get there. YouTube.com/Bills News. I'm Tyler Jones for Tyler Smith. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.